welcome back to Hillbilly Adventures. We're going to continue today with the 1.6 Willys Jeep Build. As you can see, I've made some progress. I went ahead and I got my axles in. I ordered axles from Injora. They are Wraith axles. Also, I had to make some links. I tried measuring and finding links this size, and it's just nothing that's quite where it needs to be. So I opted to go old school and make my own. If you have ever done that before, you know where I'm going with this, but if not, I will show you. It's pretty simple. You go to your local hardware store and you purchase you some all thread. You want to make sure that your all thread is going to screw into the your link ends. Now with me, the ones I used came from Axial SCX 10-2. They are the larger ones. So I think if I remember correctly, I think this is 11/32. Let's see here. Pretty sure I pulled the stickers off. Yeah, 11/30 by 0.014 was my brass tubing that I bought. And the all thread is 8 by 32 by 3 foot long. Okay, so basically what you do is you want to take a measurement from point A to point B. You want to keep in mind your links themselves, and you want to take those links and deduct how far you're going to go into that link from the measurement you took from point A to point B, and then you make your cut. Now, I used a vise, and I used a Dremel tool with a cutoff wheel to make my cuts and clean them up, make them nice and neat. And then after you get all that done, just grab a random link right here. This is not the size I use. This is way small. You would basically screw your link in, and then you would put this in between like a spacer, and you would end up with something like that. Okay, and that's what I did. I'm out of the larger link ends. No, these small ones, yeah, that wouldn't work. Oh, for cutting your tube, what I used was a standard pipe cutting tool. You stick it on there and just go round and round. You tighten it, you go round and round until it comes loose. No, it's not brain surgery. It's pretty easy to do. But the result is you end up with some pretty heavy duty links. Now you don't have to go with the sizes I went with. If you're making links like this for a different vehicle and you don't need them quite as big, because I mean this tubing right here, it's substantial. Okay, I mean it's about the same as a arrow shaft for a bow and arrow. I wanted mine to be pretty beefy. Speaking of which, if I could have used an arrow shaft, that'd have been kind of cool if I got a camo one. In hindsight's 2020. Anyhow, so after you get all that together, you should have something. Let me take this thing apart. Oh, our clinger has a head now. He looks more like Jackie Chan, in my opinion. I'm going to have to do some doctoring on him and fixing his hair to make him look more like Klinger from MASH. But we'll get there. That'll be another day. If you look up in here, you'll see the links that I was telling you about, and they're pretty substantial. And this thing is heavy, and I'm having a hard time holding it up with this bad arm. I also got, if you can probably notice, I also have a chassis up in here now. The chassis is a Axial SCX 10 chassis, and I did cut it down. You can see right up here, and I had a support piece laying in my box of parts. I don't remember what kit that came from, but I've used it, and there's actually screws. You can see one of them from the metal plate that I put inside there, going through into that support piece because it is threaded, and that's holding the front of the chassis to the body. In the back, I have a couple of old shock mounts from Tamiya. I can't remember exactly which one, and they are screwed through the tops right here, down in there held together with a nut, and they hold the back of the chassis together. Now the skid plate, I had to 3D print that, and that is for my transfer case, and you can see my transfer case lives right in the center of that thing. So that is a 3D printed part. You can find that on Yegi. That's where that came from. I did not create that. I just found it and I printed it. And I did have to use a file to file it out a little bit. For me, with the transfer case that I have from Injora, it was a little too long, but it wasn't no big deal. I had to take a 16th off on either side, and it dropped right in. I finally got the motor that I want to run. It is a Holms Hobbies 550 21 turn that is in this bad boy. I've got a 1080 Hobbywing ESC is what we're going to use to send the power out. Running a FlySky GT5 receiver, and I've got a El Cheapo, I think it's a Power Hobby servo in here. I can't remember. It's laying in the box. It's brand new. And that's what we're going to use for our steering and all that good stuff. Now, with doing a Formation International Jeep, I did run into some peculiar situations. One of which, and I don't know if they had the same problem with the GI Joe Jeeps. I be honest with you, I don't have a GI Joe Jeep, so I'm not sure. But where I'm doing servo over axle, the body hits, and that's as low as she ever going to go is where it's sitting out. It kind of feels kind of high to me. I could cut this thing out and do a chassis mounted servo situation, and I don't know if I want to even bother with it. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and roll with how it is now. The suspension will be jacked up a little bit. It won't have much suspension in the front, but it's been my experience that on crawlers, really, you don't need a whole lot in the front anyway. So I'm just going to roll the dice and see how it goes. And if I don't like it, I could always change it. I just don't want to cut on this thing anymore because I have cut a lot on this body. The rear end doesn't have that issue. It is perfectly fine. I'm going to have to get some shocks. I found these. I've only got 2 of these. I'm going to look to see if I have another 2. If so, I might roll with these. If not, I may have to go a different direction. But it's coming. It's coming. It's coming pretty good. I mean, it's not too bad. I'm still waiting on my drive shafts. They're on the slow boat from China. It might be another week or so before those come in. I can't make any more video content until I get those. But I am chugging along with it. It hasn't been a hard build. It looked kind of overwhelming at first, but after you get into the brass tacks of it, it's not really that bad. It's actually progressed pretty quickly. We'll just have to see what happens when it all goes together. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of tweaking that's going to need to be done. But anyway, guys, I mean, that's where we're at. If you're thinking about building you a GI Joe Jeep, or if you're thinking about building you a Formation International Jeep, well, now at least you have something to reference and you know what you're getting into. And you can see all the nonsense I've had to go through to make this thing work. Now, with the chassis situation, I forgot to mention, I did have to cut on the back side here into the body a little bit. On the driver's side, it's not a problem because there's a recessed piece up there. And you basically just cutting a piece of plastic to let that chassis fall in there. On this side, however, it actually has a chair and it's a lot lower. And I did have to cut into the body a little bit. And there's just a little hole underneath the chair where you're not going to see it anyway. That's the only bad part of that. And if you put rubber mats in this thing, you'll cover it up and never see it anyway. Or if you want to just put a little dollop of OD green paint over it, nobody's going to notice. But anyhow, there's where we're at, guys. I mean, it's getting there. I can't wait to get her the rest of the way together and take this thing out and just see how it does. I mean, it's looking pretty good. I'm already thinking about putting lights in here, how we're going to do that, and I've got a good idea how I'm going to make that work. I may even run lights to the back as well. We'll just have to see, how we approach that later. Um, my main issue is with the head looking like Jackie Chan. I need to fix that. So I'm probably going to have to get out the paintbrushes and my old man glasses and kind of touch him up here and there, make him look a little bit more like a man from Toledo than a man from the movies. Like Jackie Chan here. Yeah, that head is not what I ordered. When I ordered on the internet, it looks a whole lot different than what I got. Surprise, it came from, China. So you know how that goes. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you checking out my video. I'll come out with a part 4 as soon as I got more parts. If you have any questions, just ask down there in the comments. You can visit us at Dudes That RC on Facebook if you want to check out our Facebook page and see what the whole group of guys is doing. We do post content on there from time to time. You can make sure you like and subscribe Hillbilly Adventures. That's a good thing you can do for me. Try to get my subscriptions up a little bit, and every little bit helps. You throw a like on there, it'll get my videos out there to more people, and I'll keep chugging along. As for my arm, I know some of you guys messaged me on social media about the arm. It's doing a lot better. I had physical therapy today. Range is back. It's still extremely sore and stiff, especially up in here, and my neck. Those muscles there are still stiff. It's just going to take time. It's just one of those things. And but I'm getting there, and I'll be back to my old ornery ways soon enough. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. See you next time. Go out there and have some fun with RC. And hey, don't take no wooden nickels.